Something massive is brewing in the Counter-Strike market. Stickers are pumping 300x over a single month. There is market manipulation, secret pump groups, and there is someone pulling the strings. And we might have even found the original EG pump group, with the introduction even saying, "May you be happy when you look back on the decision you made that day to join their group." Now, if that isn't some Wolf of Wall Street type of intro, I don't know what is. But anyway, we're seeing sudden spikes, vanishing supplies on marketplaces like Buff, and a new understanding of the big division between the Western market versus the Chinese market within Counter-Strike 2. But I guess the real question is this a beginning of a new bull market, or is it a trap for people like you just to lose money? So before we dive in, this video is sponsored by CS Money. Easily trade your skins with over 1 million skins on the trading section. I'm not joking, 1 million. Even lower prices than before. You can upgrade your combo or find trade up inputs to do stuff like this. One bomb! Yes! 100! With many payment methods like crypto or PayPal, and they even have an instant sell section which allows you to instantly sell your skins for cash, and they're paying even more than before. And now with the big new trading update that's very scary, instantly sell these skins and use the balance instantly to buy different skins, so you don't have to wait 8 days to get a new skin. Check out CS Money with the link in the description. Now let's start with the current market pump and what has happened since my part 1 video about 6 days ago. Some of the prices are still bonkers. We have the M4 leaded glass in factory new non-stat track for $400, which when I talked about it 7 days ago was $200. That was from the original $40 it was at. What about the AK point disarray? It is now $600. It's even at a point where I'm trying to trade up to the skins because they are so ridiculously stupid. 2, 1, bomb and fun! That's a profit! But it seems like they're continuing to buy in and hold and pump. With the EG sticker holo from the Stockholm now $300, that's absurd. And again, liquid guns in general continuing to skyrocket, and once one of them has skyrocketed, a new one starts to skyrocket. Now, not only these pump groups, but the entire Western market has gone schizo, and they're now mass buying any random thing in the hopes that it might be the next chosen pump. And you've probably realized this. The most ridiculous, stupid stuff is pumping, and that's just what's going to happen. There's going to be stuff like, oh, because the EG Stockholm got pumped, let's pump the EG RMR. Okay, the Furia Stockholm has the same holo effect. Boom, let's pump that shit. Basically, it's silly and it's stupid. But there's a bigger issue behind it all. And for that reason, this is where it starts to get a little bit dangerous. It means a lot of people will eventually get burned and lose all their money. So you got to be very careful. And realistically, a lot of the Western market are young, impressionable teenagers. Anyway, after my original part 1 video, I got a couple DMs from people within the Chinese market wanting to show me screenshots and talk about it. Again, this isn't an exposed video, but more of just the majority of the Western market don't understand what is happening and the cause of it. It's more an explanation of why. So we're going to be looking into the pump groups, even the alleged original EG pump group and what they want, and talking about the actual division between our market and theirs. Now, I got a few questions saying, why did they choose these items? For example, the EG holo from the Stockholm 2021 collection. I'll explain pretty much the criteria of a good item to pump. They are choosing an item which has a very low starting price. For example, the EG at $1. And at the current time, and at the time it wasn't the most popular sticker at all. You had the Mouse Stockholm holo in the same collection for $10. But what the EG allowed was this: there was tons of supply at a very low price. So they could buy the entire supply that was listed on the marketplaces across every marketplace and then start pumping. Does that make sense? So a lot of people are saying, you know, why isn't my Op Onotaji blowing up? And the truth is because in order to send the Op Onotaji in factory new from $700 to 1.5k, there's a lot more capital involved to buy up all the Op Onotajis at $700 a piece, but it's only going to net a 2x profit. Whereas you can spend less capital and get a higher % return on investment on a stickers and the dumber stuff. Is that starting to make sense? Which is why things like the AK point disarray, which I'll be real, I would probably pay $10 max for this skin. I don't think it's even a C tier or a B tier skin. It's not a good looking skin. That's why they can pump it. The easiest way to explain it as well is just last night we had Valve say the graphic collection is getting removed. Now we can all agree the op CMYK from the graphic collection has got to be one of the most ugliest covert collection op in existence. Not even ops, the ugliest covert collection skin. Just that's it. That's the statement. And overnight, Valve says graphics getting removed, and boom, the op CMYK went from about $600 to cheapest listed 1.3k. It's insane. This happens all the time. Basically, if the collection's being removed, suddenly people say they enjoy it, they like it. Now, about the EG Stockholm holo. Now, more importantly, I really want to explain how fake the demand is just with this insane supply. And to prove to you you that this will eventually crash and there is no actual price and demand and real buy orders, not from the manipulators, but genuine buyers who would happily pay $300 to apply it to their skin. That's the key difference. So let me explain, okay? The EG sticker at one point about a month ago was $1. Now, a month ago, there was over 25,000 4X crafts in existence. There are so many crafts for the reason it is cheap, nobody cares about the sticker, so you can mass apply them. And since a month later, there's only been about 100 extra 4X crafts in existence produced at a better price range, like $300. So that kind of proves that this isn't real demand, but they're holding the sticker. They're not applying it because it looks good or there's real demand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the market and look at an older sticker which has a verified price range where supply meets demand and the community decide that this sticker, because of its rarity, its low supply, it deserves this price. For example, let's go to 2018, the Cloud9 Holo Boston. It's one of the best looking stickers in the collection at $110. And there's only 1,113 4X crafts in existence. Does that make sense? This sticker is a third of the EG and there's only 1,100 4X crafts. Now I know there's going to be one comment being like, well, that's from 2018, bro. So let's look at a sticker from the exact same collection, the Mouse Stockholm Holo, which originally back in 2021 had a real demand spike because people thought it was the best looking sticker out of the collection. And there's only 4,000 4X crafts in existence, but the sticker's only $25. Now, as you can see, this is starting to paint a picture of the real supply of each sticker versus the demand of what they were applied at. Now, majority of these mouse crafts were applied when the sticker was $25, $50, $100. So there's actual real demand behind it. Yet there's only 4,000 because that's just how it works with more expensive stickers. For example, the 4X Katowice Titan Holo, the last sale price was $50,000 and there's only 131 4X crafts in existence. As you can see, it still gets applied to this day and people are willing to spend 50,000 grand each, so over 200,000 for each craft. The demand and supply are correct. But when you look at the EG supply versus the price, the problem is this number is very misleading and people who don't do the research will get hit. Now, let's compare it to an even more modern hype sticker, the Rocks Holo from Antwerp 2022. This is a year after Stockholm, which has always had hype around it, from anywhere from $70 to now about $200. Yet there's only 750 4X crafts. But those crafts were done at a much higher cost baseline, which proves the market respects that price. It's demand backed, which proves the true scarcity of the supply and its intentional use. Now, if you were questioning whether this is actually real, what I would be doing is going on Float and checking how many 4X crafts keep getting applied every day, every week, and then you can make a different judgment. But from what I've seen so far, it is 100% false fake demand. And that proves a larger question of how do they cash out and where's the exit liquidity, which we'll get to at this video. Now, I think all YouTubers and streamers have been looking at this. I personally have been looking at this on my stream every day. AK safety net! Factory new? Chat, they pumped the price, I pumped the supply! But other streamers like Arrow have actually spoken to one of these users who own 600 EG holos, saying that they want to continue pumping all the way to December. Now, I'm gonna be very honest, take that with a pinch thing of salt, because if I wanted to cash out my investment and there wasn't real liquidity, I would be saying, yo guys, the price is still going up, but as you keep buying, I'm gonna be selling. Again, all allegations. But this is where the interesting part is. I also had a Chinese Steam user message me showing me this screenshot. It's a screenshot of a Chinese group manipulating the EG sticker. And once we translate it, it gets a little bit funny. Now, as we can see, team introduction. May you be happy when you look back on this decision that you made that day. Basically insinuating when you buy into this group, you will basically look back at it and say, that was a W. Now, if this is not one-to-one to the Wolf of Wall Street, then I don't know what is. But let's scroll down further. We have the team asset introduction. Asset growth, the 2 million in 2023, 5 million in 2024, and 12 million and above in the first half of 2025 represent current project in inventory, and it do not include withdrawals, which account for 50%. So what they're basically saying is, under our noses since 2023, these groups have existed, and there is a reason why some of your items, some of these skins that have randomly gone up, they have been involved. Of course, now in 2025, there's a lot more money involved. Now let's get back to it. From January to August 2025, the team's current funds, including their inventory, are 35 million. Now, I don't actually know if this is USD or RMB. But if it's RMB, which is Chinese yuan, it's $5 million USD. Earnings returned. The team entered the CS market in 2023 and currently has a stable monthly return rate of 15 to 35% and an annual return rate of 300 to 800%. Brackets, by taking advantage of the market. Guys, remember, these are not my words, they're their words. By taking advantage of the market, grabbing the market, and making the market yourself? Hey, pause. Now we've got a basic member, and it says entry threshold 50 EGs. This is not an upfront cost. So basically, they're not paying 50 EG Stockholms, but there's some sort of like, you need a 50 EG Stockholms in your inventory to join this tier. So pretty much imagine like you have a group chat and every single person owns 100 EGs, then whatever decision you guys make as a collective, you guys can just dominate the market. Anyway, for basic membership, it says 2-stage participation. Grab the market. Suitable for those with small capital or skeptical about the company's EG mother forest, whatever that means. If you think the membership fee is too high or your own capital is limited, you can become a basic member to grow your own inventory. So start small and I'll treat it as money. Onto the core member. Now the entry threshold says 100 to 200 plus EG stickers. So what this basically means is anyone in this tier of a membership has to have right now $30,000 worth of EG stickers. That's insane. So basically they have a group chat of all these people with just enough stickers to crash the market, and I assume they're saying, guys, don't sell, we need to keep pumping price. Now it says there's 3 stages of participation. Number 1, free loading. Number 2, grafting the market. And number 3, taking the bottom position. Knowledge and thinking logic provide detailed practical operation for trading control. Follow the owner to get bottom warehouse and get 100% return rate. Now I might be reading this translation wrong, but from what I'm reading it is pretty much copy the owner's calls, buy at the bottom price, and you are guaranteed to make money. That's what I'm reading it as. But anyway, the high membership fee is not for earning membership fee, but just the threshold for participating. You are buying in 200 EGs for the trust in the EG sticker. So basically, if you want to manipulate with these other guys, you have to buy into their project. That's absurd. It's basically just the entire price is built on people buying in and not selling to stay in this membership. They say trust is a prerequisite for cooperation. Give the company trust and the company will also take you to play in the CS market. Hey, this is absolutely insane. But it gets even crazier, okay? Look at this. There are 3 major commitments. No membership fees, of course, because you're not paying the people. You have to buy into their own projects. But this is where it gets insane. As you can see at the bottom, okay? It says a special statement. Currently, the team only has stamps Evil Genius Hollow 2021. And it's a project. Let me say any other Discord is fake. Do not join this, okay? But look at the bottom. Project Showroom. Annual projects, and there's a sticker of an EG in the first slot. What they are basically saying is, imagine you go outside right now, you go to your local coffee shop, and they give you every 8 coffee, you get a coffee stamp for free. They are literally saying their purpose right now was pumping the EG, and there's gonna have another project. They're gonna have another future 8 different projects of pumping. And you can have a little Project Showroom card where you get stamps. What the fuck? Now, regardless of how true this is, I just want to say, take this with a big pinch of salt, okay? I cannot verify who the guy messaged me was, how, real the source is, but honestly, I don't blame anyone, or even the guys pumping it, bro. Imagine you have an unregulated market, you can make 300x return on whatever you put in. Bro, that's life-changing money. Like, don't get this wrong. So, like, if you're watching, like, the people who are pumping, I don't mean any hate from this video, okay? Look, that type of money, enjoy your money. And for whoever's watching, the result of them doing this, whether you like it or dislike it, they have pumped everyone's inventories. They've pumped the market, they've pumped your skins, they've probably pumped your investments. So all I will say, guys, is hopefully it is never wrong to take profit. Whether you think this bubble's going to end tomorrow or in 7 months time, make sure you take your profits so you can look back and say, I took my profits and I made some money, okay? But there's a much bigger underlying thing to this whole thing. It's the division of the Western market to the Chinese market. Majority of you watching this video are Western. And after speaking with another big trader from China, he basically said China sees the game and the Counter-Strike market completely different to what we see it as. He basically said, to put it in like Fortnite terms, basically the Western market, you guys, we treat it as a video game first. We enjoy the Counter-Strike and then we treat the market as a second, right? It's a bonus. Oh, I can have my hobby and make money. It's that type of thing. Whereas he said in China, there are a lot of regulations, laws, which so they can't do anything. And apparently Counter-Strike is one of the only unregulated markets where they can get crazy returns, it's no taxes, it's unregistered, and basically they have a game. Do you know how crypto, you see like a little picture of a crypto like 100x return, like crypto people flex that? They basically do that in China. So he basically said a large majority of players don't even play the game. They only have multiple Steam accounts purely to buy, invest, and make money. Whereas again, we as Western players, we want to play the game, but hey, I want to play the game with a knife. Let me buy a knife. Is that starting to make sense? This isn't hate and this isn't trying to create a division, but more an understanding the different mindsets in two different markets, yet the markets overall are connected to each other. If they pump one item, we will feel the effect on a third party like CS Float. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe.